Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
what's up?
Alright, there's a little
Should
bit
I
of glare.
like
Yeah, come on
come
this
in?
way. Here we go. See, it's 50-50 now.
Aha,
Right. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Feel just normal today. My day started good, but then it got worse. But then it's good again. So
Is it because you saw me? What?
yeah,
Oh,
life's a roller coaster like that.
yeah.
And the day was too.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
That what happens. That's what happens. It's just a mark on my phone. It was kind of shattered.
Yeah, what did you do to it?
I don't know, but it's not like it's a screen protector though. So it's not the actual phone screen itself.
Oh, okay. Where did you get your screen protector from?
Avi got it for me.
Oh, of course you
Avi
did.
being my cousin who works at Spark, who also or who actually like has been or was doing YouTube videos, but he stopped because he
Yeah.
got too busy with work. He likes work though, so
Yeah, he enjoys it. He's really good. He's really good at his job. So,
I'm getting a call from a random number.
from London?
Yeah, they called me before as well, and I read last night actually that we're not meant to pick up because and then to also check your and because if you pick up, they can charge the call to you.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna pick up. Call from London. I got it like some other time as well. So I'm just not gonna pick up.
Yeah, so Bindia's been getting random calls. Like before she went to Australia, she got calls from Australia.
Mm.
When she went to Australia, got calls from Australia, like random numbers,
Yeah.
numbers that we've.
Scam
She's
people.
even picked up these calls. After we came back from Australia, she picked up this call, and like no one's answering from the other side.
No one's saying anything.
No one says anything. She's talking normally, and like it'd be silent for about 30 seconds, right?
Ooh.
And then it called again,
Yeah.
right? And I picked it up and I
Yeah.
said, "Hello?" Right? Really bad at Indian accent.
That sound like Mexican.
Yeah. And they hung up right away.
Oh, what does
Yeah.
that mean? Conspiracy theory right there, mate.
Conspiracy theory.
Shit, bro. What the fuck is going on with this world? It's fucking everything, right? People are doing fucked up things, eh?
Right?
I mean, those people who are calling other people, like, is it just a robot or do you think it's real people?
I think it is a robot. I think somebody would have programmed something to call these numbers.
Yeah.
And if they pick up, then
But
just
they just charge
yeah.
charge the amount to them.
But that makes no sense though. So where do they get the money from? Like, what's the point?
What do you mean? Where do they get the money
Like,
from?
cause okay, let's say they like your guy, right?
Yeah.
That's calling from London.
Yeah.
So you pick it up, then you charge.
Some.
I mean, you have to pay Spark for the cost, right?
Yeah.
So what do the people from London get out of it? Are they piggybacking off you? Are they calling another? Are they doing a three-way call? So those two can talk.
I think something like they will invoice Spark for that amount, and then Spark will invoice me, and then I'll pay Spark, or Spark will pay them, and then I'll pay Spark. So it doesn't matter who they get the money from. It's still money, though, right?
Right. Okay, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. So that's how I think it. Well, that's how I read it works, but I'm not sure if these are the same people or not. But they just said if you get called from an unknown number from anywhere else in the world, just don't pick up and also check your bills, your phone bills, because that might show up there. So since reading that literally last night, I'm not gonna pick up those calls anymore. So it's all good. And now I got a text from my mum, but she's not in London though, so it clearly wasn't her calling me. So
Maybe it was.
Maybe it was.
Maybe she got a new number.
Bro, people like someone set this up to like scam people, right?
Yeah.
People do crazy things. People think crazy things. Like it blows my mind, you know. Fuck.
Like, what sort of crazy things do they think of?
I don't know. Like, I mean, people who think like like the fucking world is flat or some shit. I don't fucking know. Like, people are dumb, bro. Honestly.
God. Okay, straight up, that's been annoying me for
You've
the
heard about
last
that, right?
last. Oh my god, last few weeks it has been annoying me because it's actually popping up on YouTube everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Like, it's some sort of like.
Okay, so most of the YouTubers
Flat Earth people.
are making fun of them.
But it's still spreading the information.
Yeah, but there are people that actually don't think that the Earth is a globe, which is weird because Like, okay,
How do we even get into this? Like, okay, like, who thinks the world is flat?
okay, I can understand like why you would think it is flat because you don't see it curving. Like that's true. Like we're too small to see the Earth curve,
Yeah.
right? But because as humans we've got like very much like religion, we have like a huge ego on ourselves that everything has to be based around us.
Yeah. So before Galileo,
Yeah.
people thought that the sun, the earth, all the planets revolved around
the
the
Earth.
earth, and the earth was that stable position because we are also the masters of the earth, you know?
Yeah.
Like humans or our species were like the kings.
Yeah,
So everything
exactly.
revolved around us. And that ego you're talking about, holy shit.
Yeah. That's got to do with that ego, and then like, and it's just all got to do with relativity, pretty much. Because okay, right, the Earth is not a globe. Okay, how do I explain this one? The Earth is not spinning. How about that? Right, the Earth is stationary. It is spinning. It is spinning because
Speaking Aussie for a second.
yeah, it is spinning because we see the sun like do a sunset and sunrise, right? But that's only because we're spinning around. The reason why we don't feel the movement is because the Earth is rotating at a constant speed. Well, it is slowing down, but ever so slightly that we don't notice. It's like moving in a car. If we're moving at a constant speed, like if we're moving at 100 k's per hour, we don't feel like we're moving. We feel like we're stationary in a car. But if you
Why?
accelerate,
But why is that?
because our body's moving at the same speed as
Exactly. So the Earth is spinning at a certain speed,
the car.
but because we are on the Earth, we are also spinning at that same speed. So it's a constant speed. Therefore, we do not feel it. Like we're in a car.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like we're in a train.
Yeah.
Right? Sitting down, it's just like, and you don't feel like if you open the window
You'll feel it.
because
That's the
because
point.
the air is not moving at
Yeah.
the same speed as you are. So of course you'll feel that.
And like you could also
Can't
throw
open train windows though. I'm sorry.
you could throw a piece of paper in a train, right? And you'll throw it and it'll come back to you. But that's
No,
because
it won't.
yeah, it does.
No.
Yeah. Okay. No. If
No,
the
it doesn't.
if the train is accelerating, sorry, if the train is accelerating, you throw the piece of paper. The piece of paper will come back to you. If the train is accelerating.
But
And
if the train is accelerating
yeah.
and the piece of paper is in your hand,
Yeah.
then wouldn't the piece of paper also be accelerating at the same at the paper be accelerating at the same speed?
So when you throw it, right, it's no longer connected to you or the train.
Oh,
And
right,
it hits
right.
the drag of the air, right?
Yeah.
So it slows down, but it's slowing down faster than like the train moving, I guess. So that's why.
I think we're better with a ball
Yeah.
because a ball of paper has like friction and like
Yeah, that's why it's easier to mention a piece of paper because it'll actually come back to you. If if it's accelerating, you throw something, it'll come back to you. So the
physics.
yeah, physics. So like there's an argument where if you jump, why do you land in the same place? Shouldn't you move like a centimeter over or something like that?
Earth is not spinning that fast.
Well, one, it is spinning fast, but you've also you haven't left the ground
Fully 90 degrees.
fully 90
Have you?
degrees. No, you haven't left the ground. You haven't left off the ground long enough for that to happen. But then people argue, then why can't planes just stay stationary and then the Earth move around?
Well, that's why it takes like 5 minutes less or more to travel from Auckland to Wellington because of the curvature of the Earth. Because the Earth is spinning, sorry. No, the Earth is spinning. So because say there's like 2 points like China and like Beijing and like London or something. Is that opposite sides? I don't even know.
I don't know.
US and China, right?
US and China.
Fine. You say US and China, right?
Yeah.
What a plane from like going from one way, so going like west. Wait, which way does the Earth spin? Left?
I don't know. Okay, wait.
That's how
which,
dumb we
which
are.
way does the sun rise?
Which way does
I
the
mean,
sun
from
rise?
what coordinate? No, north or west?
The sun rises in the east and sets in the west,
Right.
roughly from where I am.
Yeah, east and west, right?
Because it comes from that side, which that's east, and it sets in the west.
like that, right?
Yeah.
So that means the
Behind
Earth,
us.
Earth rotates clockwise. So the Earth rotates towards the east.
The Earth rotates towards...
the east because the sun is moving
So
west.
towards sunrise.
Yeah, towards sunrise. Like that.
Why?
Because the sun is stationary, right? Yeah. Well,
Okay. Oh,
just in the
yeah,
solar
yeah,
system,
yeah.
Sun is stationary.
Yeah, right. And then the Earth will...
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
so yeah, keep going with your thing.
So towards east. But east and west is just directions, and there's no point of it. You know how there's like a North Pole and South Pole?
Yeah.
There's no East or West Pole.
Yeah, no.
So,
What
do Flat Earth people think about North and South Pole?
So North Pole.
They don't think of North Pole and that's it, eh? Because South Pole doesn't exist for them.
South Pole doesn't exist.
Because Antarctica apparently like covers everything. Fuck them.
Antarctica is the ice wall, like in Game of Thrones. Hey, Game of Thrones. But yeah, Antarctica is just a wall containing all the water.
Bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
That's all my reaction, bruh.
Okay, and some people think like because so usually I hear all the flat earthers come from US, not from anywhere here.
Well, no offense, but the US people from the
Education system is
Americans. No, they are the most. I think I said it in a previous podcast that they are the most like influential.
They're the most
bunch of people.
influential.
So like
yeah.
whatever they think, that will spread in the media. Like, you know, flat earthers. Flat earthers. That's a term now. Flat earthers. It's like Jake Paulers.
Yeah,
It's
Jake
pretty much like as worse as those two. Jake Paul. If you had to be put in a room with the Jake Paulers or flat earthers, which one would you choose?
Jake Paulers.
Ho ho ho! That's how bad Anish hates flat Earth.
Yeah, like
Flat Earth.
you've got to be a fucking idiot to be a flat. Like Jake Paulers are people who just like Jake Paul. There's nothing wrong with
And
like
their age is like 10 anyways.
Yeah, they're all 10-year-olds,
Average age is
yeah.
like 12.
Yeah, exactly. So they're just kids who are just watching a dude do some crazy shit.
And make fun of people committing suicide.
No, that's Logan Paul.
Oh. Well, the fucking same family.
They're the same family, yeah. But yeah.
See, I don't even watch them because I have no idea.
I know a lot of shit. I spend way too much time on YouTube. But one argument that they have is why if Australia is in the southern hemisphere, if Australia is facing downwards, then what?
I just thought of a random thing.
What?
If Apple acquired YouTube, then they'd probably change it to iTube.
No, they'll keep it as YouTube.
No, but that'd be a cool
Oh my
idea,
god,
right?
no!
Yeah, but if
they could make
if Apple
just an
acquired,
iTunes.
that could be like an alternative to YouTube, and Apple comes out with iTube.
Right now we have, I think, Dailymotion that's rivaling YouTube.
Dailymotion. I still have prediction that like LiveLeak will get up there. LiveLeak.
Lively.
Yeah, bro. That's like live videos of like real shit. Cause it's like real world shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things that actually happen in the world, like not like policed and
Yeah,
stuff like that. YouTube, you know, like
YouTube has to.
hate speech. I know, but like eventually everything gets to that point of like becoming overly political. LiveLeak is still raw. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
it's
got
still raw.
shit on it. It's got death and stuff. You know, like dumb people dying, like Darwin theory. Like that would be the best way for like flat earthers to die. It'd be like, I wanna, like, if I was a flat earther, I'd be like, push me off the edge of the earth. That's how I wanna die. Right?
Okay.
And then they'll never die. Like, say you got a death penalty.
Yeah. And if I was a flat earther, I'd be like, just push me off. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, let's all like, nah, let's not do that. But I'm just saying, like, that will be a good like death penalty method.
Being pushed off the edge of the.
Yeah, and then like just fall off. Because what's gravity is nothing, right?
But no,
Is it?
no. Still on flat Earth, right?
Yeah.
They don't believe in gravity, but like, how are we still sticking to the ground then? Because there has to be some sort of force pushing or pulling. Well, gravity is pull, but pulling us to the ground.
Right.
So that means there's something actually pushing us from the top.
So there would be
to
gravity, right? Because in space there is no up or down.
There's no up and yeah.
So there's no up. There's only down. Down is like the force of gravity. That's all down is. Up is the reverse of that. So in real life, up doesn't exist. Only down exists because down is the force of gravity.
Oh, yeah, actually, no, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah?
which
So up
would
is just the
mean, because
opposite.
down is every which way anyway. But
Yeah.
regardless, on a flat Earth, there has to be gravity.
Exactly. So for that thing to work, yeah, there has to be a down force, right?
There has to be a downforce.
Does
yeah.
there?
Yeah, because how? Otherwise, there's nothing keeping us down. We can just float away.
Yeah. So there has to be something that keeps us going down,
Yeah,
right? So what is that thing?
that's gravity.
But gravity, because the Earth is, but they think the Earth is not spinning though. That's what they. Because the Earth is spinning and rotating, it forces all things to become a spherical shape.
Yeah,
So
that's
the Earth
the
becomes,
that's the spin. Yeah,
and the rotation around like a sun as well.
Yeah.
Because like the spinning nature of it makes it form into like into a ball. Right?
no,
There's like
no.
force. I'm sure
Grav-
like centrifugal and what forces?
No, so gravity actually okay. So with gravity, because gravity goes down to the center, right?
Yeah.
Everything eventually collapses into a ball, not because it's spinning or anything. It just goes like that
Around the force
Center.
of gravity.
around the center,
Yeah.
around the center of the mass. Center mass.
Center mass, right?
Center mass.
That's the word
So
I'm looking for.
that's what makes everything into a ball.
Gravity doesn't. Gravity has an effect, right?
Yeah, gravity does that.
That's why all bodies, all big bodies in space, are spherical in nature.
Yeah, spherical. Yeah.
The Earth is not that big compared to other things, right?
Yeah.
In space.
In
So the Earth, I think it's called an oblate spheroid.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
not
word
a
of it.
perfect.
So it's not a perfect
sphere.
sphere, but it's a bit like a fat version of it.
It's like that.
Yeah, it's a fatter version because the sun's is like pulling the center of that gravity. I think is that what it is?
No, because of the spin.
Because of the spin, yeah. Because like Crash Bandicoot, how he like does that and he goes down like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And he gets like
And
fatter.
it goes wider. Yeah,
So that's what the Earth is doing.
It's like a pizza dough. So when you're
Oh.
spinning pizza dough, it goes flatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
So-
what's happening with the Earth.
So
But
Crash Bandicoot and Earth. That's how we learn.
it doesn't go flat completely. Like no, it's still
The center of mass still exists.
center of mass. Yeah.
So so I don't get flat Earth. Like, like, do they think that Earth is still the center of like the solar system or something?
So there's
Heliocentric model, I think it's called. But what does that mean? Does that mean like around the sun? Yeah, it means around the sun. Helios is sun or something.
So what they believe is
Actually, I
there's
don't know. Don't kill them.
some of them believe that there's a actual dome.
Oh, Novus.
And that the sun and the moon and all the stars are in this dome, and it's like, how would that be
fudge.
have been created? At that point, I'm just like, what?
All right. So, do they think that the sun is as big as the sun is?
Yeah.
So
they
how
think
does
the
that
sun
work?
is this. They think the sun is closer, but the thing is, like, for the sun to generate that much heat, and if it was closer to us, we would have just burnt up.
But we don't know that. Though. Like, I actually don't know like the physics of the sun. You know, so like we don't know how it would affect us if the Earth was closer.
It'd be like Mercury.
Yeah, most likely. But
Yeah.
we have like I don't know that. Like I can't like prove that to you.
Venus is our future.
Venus. What about Mars?
So I think it goes no, it's because Mars. I'm pretty sure it's colder.
What do you mean by future though as well?
Like because
The sun is getting hotter.
the sun is getting
expanding.
hotter, and then
Is that what happens? That's what happens. Like things explode up. No, not explode, but like
expand and then collapse on itself
yeah,
because of gravity. Gravity. So
gravity.
gravity.
Is that a song? No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No,
Isn't it?
gravity.
Tragedy. Tragedy.
Oh,
Gravity.
That'd be such a good like scientific
Song?
cover. Yeah. Gravity.
What's
It's
it called?
pulling you
Jingle.
closer to gravity. Fuck flat Earth, gravity. Anyway,
So
the Bee Gees.
So what's it called? The Earth, because we're releasing a lot of carbon emissions, right? That is
Yeah.
just boiling up the Earth with global warming that will end up looking like Venus, because Venus is just
Global warming
Yeah.
haven.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why Venus is a lot hotter than Mercury as well. Did you know that?
Yeah, because of the like poisonous clouds and
Yeah.
shit which cover it up. The
Mm.
atmosphere is so dense that all the heat that's generated from the core of Venus and stuff
It
is
just
kept inside.
it just stays.
And it takes all the sun's energy
Yeah.
and just keeps it in there, just fucking cooks.
And on top of that, Mercury's rotational speed is very, very slow. So one side is really hot, and then it like the other side cools down so much that the
Oh.
average temperature is lower than Venus's.
So it's like yin yang, a
Yeah,
rotating yin yang, just like hot as fuck and cold as fuck.
Yeah.
And just like,
and then it just slowly moves it around.
wow, that's just. I mean, like we take for granted like seasons, you know, like on
We're
Earth.
lucky we have seasons,
Why?
because then like all the trees, springs, autumn, summer, winter.
But those things happen because of the way the Earth is.
Yeah, because of
It's not lucky. Like we are.
No, it is because we're lucky.
No. It's not lucky. Like no, that's not. That's bad thinking.
Look, well, how?
That's egotistical
Okay,
thinking.
okay, fine,
I think
fine.
so because
Well, I feel like I'm lucky to be alive on this earth.
yeah, but like that's like no.
Okay,
That's
okay,
not
no,
what
no,
I mean.
Go on.
But do you know what I mean? It's like so the Earth, it's like we are
The product
made
of...
to fit the environment.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough.
So like
yeah.
we are lucky. We are just fucking here.
But imagine if...
But it's cool to be here though.
Yeah.
Still,
Imagine if
we don't
the
have to be
Earth...
lucky.
Yeah, imagine if the Earth was like spinning on an axis that was 180 like this.
Yeah.
0. We wouldn't have seasons.
Or if the Earth wasn't spinning, we wouldn't have seasons.
Yeah, we wouldn't have seasons. Nah, they have a reason. Flat Earthers have a reason as to why we have
Seasons.
seasons.
Shit, man. Just prove things like, but like they.
Actually, no, they don't.
Whoa,
What
do you?
the- Okay, so the flat Earth, the round disc, like about. I wish I had a ball
Or a plate.
or a plate. Plates downstairs. I'm not getting that. Okay, so flat Earth like that circle. Let's say that's the circle there. They think summer solstice in the northern hemisphere.
What is a summer solstice, Anish?
I think it's when the sun is longer in the sky.
Okay, the longest.
Longest in the sky.
December 21st, 22nd ish.
So the sun in the for the northern hemisphere summer solstice, the sun will rotate that much, right? And for the winter solstice, when the sun is the shortest amount of time in the sky,
Yeah.
right, it is like rotating around here. That wouldn't make any sense for people living in the southern hemisphere though, because then we don't get as much sun regardless, because it's if we have
Yeah.
a 24-hour day, that means that the sun would have to go for us, because if it's the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, it's the summer solstice for us, right? For the southern hemisphere, right?
Kind of, yeah.
It is.
It is. Okay, sweet. Yeah, pretty much.
the-
It is.
yeah.
Because
And if
Yeah.
the sun takes, and if it's 24 hours in a day, that means the sun would have to speed up around the edge of the earth because of.
fucking hell. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how things work. I don't know what it's called, but there's physics behind it of a disc, like one point in a spinning disc. It's a shorter length, right? But it's going at a particular velocity, but at another point on the disc, it's it's
Rotating. It would rotate faster.
it would rotate faster, right? So exact same. So if you apply that principle to a sun up on a flat Earth, that means it would rotate faster around the edge.
But they're saying it rotates slower.
No, there's
Rotates the same speed.
yeah, they're saying it'll rotate at the same speed, but
Well, that's
it would have to rotate faster because we also get
Yeah.
longer sun time.
because like if the rotation is going to be the same amount,
Yeah.
right? Then the further out you are, the faster it's going to get
Yeah.
that one rotation.
Yeah.
Right? If it's closer, you can go slower.
Yeah.
The further away, you have to go faster to get that same and like time of
Time,
rotation.
yeah.
Rotation time. Fucking hell, man.
So that makes no sense either.
Flat
Fucking
Earthers.
idiots.
But like, what I want to know
Hmm.
is like, well, first of all, Anish, are you a flat earther?
No.
Am I a flat earther? I'm not a flat earther, right? We don't know what they actually think. Like, we're just like, we could look at like stuff on the internet, which could be written by anyone, but like, I don't actually know people who actually believe that. Well, there's one aspect of like, okay, fine, you believe in this idea. I mean, people believe in dumb ideas all the time.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly
mean-
fine. That's okay to believe in stupid ideas. You have your own, yeah.
You have your own ideas. You can believe whatever you want. I've dumb ideas,
Yeah, I have dumb ideas
Yeah.
and pretty dumb opinions, like
but I know that they're dumb, as well.
Are they, are
No.
they dumb or misinformed?
Um,
I reckon they're misinformed because they made the logical
Yeah.
decision to believe in the flat Earth.
Or
Well-
maybe they have some sort of other conspiracy thing behind. Like maybe they have another. But no. But actually, first of all, people want to understand the world around them, and they would love to put it into a holistic context, right? So you have a model,
Yeah.
right? And you try it and fit things into the model. There's one way to do it, which is like, there's the inductive and deductive reasoning or something like that. There's like top down and bottom up.
Oh yeah.
So like one is like, okay, you have a model of something that you want, and then you take real world shit and try and fit it to the model. Or you look at the world and all the different aspects of it, and you try and create a model
Out of it.
out of it. So there's top down, which is like, I'll put stuff into the model, and there's bottom up, where you try and create a model out of the events around you. So science in general, like the actual
Science
in general,
is bottom.
is bottom up. No, it has both. It has both though, because once you have a model, you want to prove that it exists. So you try test it by doing other things, right?
Yeah, so you make a model from
Out
bottom
of this,
and
yeah.
then you prove it by top
testing,
up.
yeah. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to include both, right?
Yeah.
I feel like flat Earth is only a model, falsely trying to put shit into it, trying to prove it, right? That's how I see flat Earth as. That's how I see some religions like, or like, it's getting borderline. No, it's not
That's
borderline.
true,
But
that's true.
That's how I feel that is, right?
That's how religion is like
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
But in that same instance, I also have a dumb idea like that as well. I have my own holistic model, my own personal health model, for example, which I use for my life. And I try and understand the things that happen in my life within that model. And then that's how I live my life. It's a dumb idea because it's a dumb idea for someone else, probably. But it works for me, and it makes me feel like I'm on the right path. So if I feel this way about a certain model, then why can't... Fuck you. Drink water.
Yeah, keep going.
So if I can feel like passionate or sticking to a certain model like that for my life, then maybe that's the same way that the flat earthers feel as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely, right? So like in a way, I might understand the emotion, or like the idea of like, this is my model and I like it and I want to defend it. But it's like, it goes against a lot of everything else. I don't think my idea goes against science and all that shit. And
Yeah,
all that sort
so
of stuff.
what
'Cause
they
I incorporate that.
they are going against science, so that's the thing. Like how do you expect, like, okay, we didn't expect that the globe was round just 50 years ago when we had like like cameras and shit. We actually found out quite like centuries ago.
And far out, man.
And it's like they worked it out then, and the equation then is still the same now as well. Like it's pretty much the same. So it doesn't
Holy
change.
Shit. They built it like the Stonehenge shit to like fit with all the days of the the sun and the moon and shit. The sun would shine through a window and like hit a certain thing. Do you know the Earth was meant to end? The world was meant to end. Remember, in December 21st, 2012. December 21st. And that was based on the Mayan calendar, which was like how many years ago? Like 2,000, 10,000 years. Well, I don't know, but long before, like, it was in the BC era, like ages, BCE. Sorry, before Common Era.
Okay.
But there's before the ages, right? December 21st in New Zealand is the summer solstice. Is the longest day of the year. Like, they figured that shit out ages ago, and the calendar would end on the
calendar didn't what's it called? The calendar didn't note down leap years though.
Oh. So how does that work then? No. I think the December 21st date accounted for that.
What do you mean?
It accounted for the leap years and all that shit.
No. The years would have been like in 2006 or some shit, like with something earlier.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Where's your sources, Anish?
Okay, let me look.
Nah, don't worry about it. No,
While I look, you can start talking about 4D.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I'll find out later on.
But so that proves me wrong. Interesting. And you spelled calendar wrong.
I know, sure say. But
I one-upped you.
Flat Earth, I just don't understand you. You guys just don't make any sense. Everything I've heard on YouTube, I know they are like they are misinformed, but everything they say can be counter-argued.
Yeah, but that could go for anything, though, Anish. That could
No.
be said for anything.
Not if the Earth is round. No.
Like, if I touch your hand, am I touching you?
Yes,
But what is touch then? My atoms are not interacting at all with your atoms.
they are.
No, they're not. They aren't touching. My atoms and your atoms are not actually physically touching. Right?
Okay, but
Therefore, am I really touching you?
Yeah, because you can feel it in your brain, and I can feel it in my brain.
But I'm not talking about feeling. I'm talking about touching.
Yeah, this is touching.
The
This is
atoms
an observation.
We can see the sun going around. We can observe that, but doesn't mean that the Earth is stationary. If we observe the sun moving in the sky, physically is doing it every day, that in the same way. Oh shit! That might mean that the Earth is flat and the sun moves around us.
Yeah, but then you've got other equations
Observations,
and
right?
other observations and stuff that
So we
prove
can
that
look.
wrong.
So we can look deeper into shit and find out that hey, actually, my atoms don't actually ever physically touch, connect, join with your atoms. Therefore, what does it mean by touch? What is a touch? It means to.
If you're one of your senses, your 5 primary senses.
Yeah, this is sense, right?
Yeah.
So we feel the closeness of atoms. That's what touch is. Closeness, not connectedness.
Okay.
If we define touch like that. Because touch is normally
touch.
Yeah,
Touch.
I mean, it's self-explanatory.
Touch. I didn't actually touch the screen. I'm not going to touch it.
It was a hover.
It's a hover.
But it's what is touch? Anyway, let's just continue. No, what I mean is you have to keep observing and keep looking at shit. Anything can be counter-argued.
It can be okay. Anything can be counter-argued, but if
you have things to back it up.
If the model suits all equations, then to be honest, you can't really counter-argue it then.
Yeah. So evolution, for example, right? If they found some random platypus or some shit in the dinosaur era, that would totally throw evolution out the window because that doesn't fit the evolutionary model.
Yeah.
Right? But they have never found that though. They've never found something that doesn't exist in the place where it's meant to exist.
So how do they
date it?
Yeah, how do they date it in the first place? Do you know?
There's lots of different methods. Mostly it's based on the half-lives of certain elements. So that's called it's known as radioactive decay.
Radioactive decay.
Oh, there's other versions.
I've heard of that actually. Yeah, no.
So
continue.
I'm not sure. So pretty much is do you know what half-lives of elements are?
Yeah.
Or atoms, or elements.
Oh, you're gonna have to
explain it anyway, right? So elements, say for example fucking hydrogen or something. Hydrogen, oxygen.
Oxygen? No, go with hydrogen because it's 2,
Yeah.
right? And then it goes to helium.
No. That's what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
Is that not it?
I'm talking about isotopes.
Okay, you go. I don't know what you're talking about then. Yeah, keep going.
Actually, I know what I'm talking about either, but I'll try and explain it as best I can.
Yeah.
We're not going to search it up now, so I'm trying to explain it the best that I can.
Yeah.
Elements exist in certain isotopes, and over time they break down into other types of isotopes.
Okay.
And they do it over time.
What's an isotope?
An isotope is the same element but with a different number of neutrons.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there's protons, which is the positive element. There's neutrons, and protons and neutrons exist in the nucleus. So that what gives it the mass number. So for example, hydrogen has a mass of 1 because it only has a proton, I think.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
there's
Hydrogen.
one
Yeah,
electron.
hydrogen. Yeah,
So-
helium is 2, right?
So each stable element has an equal number of protons and electrons. But neutrons are neutral, hence neutron. Jimmy Neutron. He was neutral, was he? No, he was seen as he was seen as a proton. But why wonder why they come to Jimmy Neutron? Anyway,
Because it's like he's smart. No worries.
different topic. So yeah, neutrons can exist as many as possible, but it will still be called the same. So the way that fuck's sake.
Is the weight calculated by how many protons,
Right?
there are?
But there could be as different number of neutrons in the thing as well.
Right, and so half-life decay is when they decrease neutrons?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Or something like that. Or when like hydrogen shifts to like H goes to H2 or some shit, or like H like rusts away, like oxygen, like aluminium ladders or aluminium, that reacts heavily with oxygen, right? So the outer coating of ladders or the aluminium products is like AlO2 or some shit. It's aluminium oxide, and that doesn't react with the earth. I mean, with the oxygen. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, to be honest. But I know that there are some methods like that, which can measure how much of the substance of a rock or something has decayed, or how many stuff has gone past that stage, and then you can work backwards to figure out when that rock was formed or some shit.
Right.
And then if a fossil is inside that rock, that gives an idea of like
How long
when
it's been,
yeah. So that's how it's like. Does that
Oh,
make
that's
sense?
cool. That's cool.
But that's only one method.
But does that mean that the rock grows from the fossil, or does the rock shrink? It grows, right?
What do you mean the rock grows?
So when you find a fossil inside a rock, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean that rock is growing in any way, or shrinking?
No.
No, it's just the elements.
It's just it's transforming in the sense that it's eroding.
Oh, okay.
Like, or other, like, say for example, the rock they're talking about is like in the water, like under the ocean. There'll be like sand and shit which go on the top of that right now, and then say an earthquake or something happens, or like it goes under the crust or some shit, then it becomes like hardened because the pressure of the water as well as the pressure of like gravity that close to the whatever, it'll force the rock to metamorphosize and change and shit. The fossil might not exist anymore, or it could preserve it. And I don't know because I'm not a geologist, but like that's the gist of how I know like it can preserve something. But fossils are very rare things that occur. Like people say that, oh, how come we haven't got fossils of like the missing link of like humans and monkeys and stuff. But it's like a fossil is very hard to like
Find.
produce in nature and
Oh,
find.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I thought it was easy. Okay, so that's the problem. So fossils are actually hard
Difficult.
to make.
Yeah.
Just difficult in general.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
Yeah.
by using that, you can actually figure out how long that fossil has been a fossil for. One of the-
yeah, I'd say. Because if the body or the whatever remains were laid down at the time that the rock was forming, then you can trace it back to the time of when the rock was formed, and that's when the fossil was probably laid down. But there's other methods as well, radioactive isotopes. Because like some elements are unstable, right? So all like the argons and the chlorine and the xenon or some. No, not xenon. That's a noble gas, but the radioactive ones. Argon? I don't even fucking know.
Cobalt.
Cobalt?
Yeah,
Cobalt?
it says right
Is
there.
cobalt a metal?
Yeah.
What the fuck you brought it up?
Cobalt is a metal, and it's got a half-life of 5.26 years, mate.
Yeah, so like things have half life, so you can like see how much of the atoms have converted, and then you can trace it back to when it wasn't converted. So that's how they figure out. That's only one. That's one method of dating though. radiometric dating, radioactive dating. There's like heaps of other dating.
So there's a number.
dates.
All right, fair enough.
But I wonder if flat earthers go that deep into that shit.
They don't. They most likely
They
don't.
don't.
And the fact that
It's like the young Earth creationists who believe that the Earth is like less than 10,000 years old.
how do you prove that it's not more than 10,000 years old though?
Hmm?
How do you prove that the Earth is not even 1 day old? Because I mean, let's be honest, we could just be in a simulation and conspiracy, but we could be a simulation with like memories implanted in our brains, so make us believe that what we did yesterday actually happened.
Yeah,
Although
exactly.
all of this
So
could have
we
just
can't-
been created today.
We can't prove anything really to 100%. We can't be certain of anything really, right? Because we could all just be in a simulation.
Yeah, so we can't prove our reality. Unless we're outside of the reality, we can actually look in and then we'll be able to prove it. But because we're living in the reality, we can't actually prove.
So therefore, the only logical thing for me to do is to continue living within the reality that I am able to like engage with.
Yeah.
So that's what that's what everyone does, and that's what we should continue to do.
Yeah.
We can't just sit here thinking, oh my god, what if I'm a brain in a vat and doing nothing? Holy shit! And then you become this dude
In the
sitting
psych ward.
in a psych ward, or just thinking about these conspiracy theories and like, oh, flat Earth, oh, aliens, oh, UFOs, oh shit, world's gonna end, fuck, like, oh.
Just live your life, pretty much.
You
Just be
know,
happy.
just evidence-based living.
So I sort of had like a crisis like that about the fourth dimension.
The fourth dimension.
So okay, so
what
we.
the fuck is the fourth dimension?
So
Anish.
I know of 5 dimensions.
What?
Yeah, so there's the zeroth dimension, which is just a point.
Zero dimension.
Yeah, it's just a point, but it's got no length, width, or height. It's just a point. It's just.
That's what the first dimension is.
Nah, the first dimension has a line, so that's just the length. But the zeroth dimension is just a point.
Oh, okay.
But it's technically like just invisible, according to us. Like how does an object have no length or width? Like just length or width.
What about the Big Bang?
What about the Big Bang?
The point at which that expanded from,
Yeah.
at furthest that humans have gotten to, is the Planck time. Like, that's how far we can calculate back to that point where our physics are so stable.
Yeah, and then before that.
Is that the closest thing to that 0 point?
Probably. I mean.
There's nothing else.
Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, so according to science, there was a theory, not science, theory.
No,
it is a theory. The Big Bang theory. It's still a theory.
Define what a theory means to you in this context that you're speaking?
A theory is something that fits all the models, but we can't really truly prove it until we see it.
No, that's
So
not the right correct definition.
So what is it?
So a theory has two definitions, right? One is like the more colloquial definition, and one is the scientific definition of theory. A scientific definition of theory is a body of evidence, right? An idea which is backed up by heaps and heaps of bodies of evidence becomes a theory of that thing, right? It's the closest thing to a fact. It's like the graduation level of a scientific idea. A theory in the colloquial thing is literally just I have a hunch or idea about something.
Yeah.
So a scientific theory is like a fucking huge level. The theory of evolution, the germ theory.
What's the germ theory?
Like back in the days, doctors never used to wash their hands and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They just like went from doing work with a dead body to like helping a mother give birth and shit. But then some people were like, germs, I think they exist. Where do they exist? I can't see any fucking things here. So germ theory, gravitational theory. We were just talking about gravity.
Gravity is not a theory.
We can't see it. We can't see gravity, Anish.
But we can
It's a theory, but it's the graduation level because there's so much evidence which backs it up.
Gravity is a theory. I thought it
Of
was
course,
a fact.
it's scientific theory, yeah.
I thought it was a scientific fact.
Facts are things that exist, right? Facts are provable things. Gravity is the body of that.
Oh,
So evolution,
is a theory.
like, it doesn't exist, right?
Well, actually, no. We're sitting inside evolution regardless. But yeah, it is a
But like,
theory.
it doesn't exist in the sense that it's not material. Like, hand me one evolution. No, you can't do that.
Oh,
hand
okay.
me one gravity, or like this much gravity.
So facts have to be like.
Provable?
Well, no. Well,
Demonst-
theories demonstrated.
Yeah, demonstrated in reality, and that's a fact, I think. Again, fact has a colloquial meaning as well as a scientific meaning,
Yeah.
but fact is not really used that much in scientific articles. It's more like because fact is like almost like a declaration of certainty, and there's no such thing as that. The brain and the vat. It's always this piece of evidence supports this theory. Never like proves 100%.
This theory proves
Yeah,
this theory.
that's just the human ego come back into it.
Right.
You know, it's always just supporting theory.
And
So
it supports this. Right.
yeah,
So like how a book can support a religion.
yeah, similar, I guess. But the book is not.
But the book
Hey.
only has one equation to that
Yeah.
theory. It doesn't have multiple equations to that one
Exactly.
theory.
So there's a
to
body
that
of
one
evidence.
model. Yeah.
There's only one piece of evidence, which is like, say, for example, like the Bible or something, right?
The Bible, yeah.
For
Quran.
Christianity, or the Quran for Islam.
Or the Gita for...
No, there's heaps of books for for Hinduism.
Really?
There's the Upanishads, there's the Vedas, there's the Ramayana, there's the Mahabharata, which is included into the Gita. Yeah, that's the ones that I know.
Okay, so they have...
The Purans as well.
So they have multiple supports for the Hindu religion.
But I think their evolution was, I think Hinduism's religion evolved and they just kept writing books. You know what I mean?
Like the Old Testament. the
Yeah, New Testament. It was just like update. For Hinduism, there was like lots of updates. Or no, it was evolution, because it started off with like being very ritualistic, so doing like actual rituals and like doing stuff, and it moved to more like alchemy, and it moved to like actual chemistry and shit for a bit. Then it moved to like the mind, and like Buddhism evolved out of that. But books were still kept on being written, so it was like evolution of thought.
Oh, okay.
Or
So,
culture,
okay. Just a quick question. So
Yeah,
the books that you just mentioned,
Yeah.
are they different editions to the?
No,
So they're just
they're chronological. I think the Vedas were like the start, and then the Upanishads were written after that to clarify things. I actually don't know much about it, but I know there are different sets of books. But yeah, the fourth dimension.
yeah. Okay. So nothingness would be the zero dimension, right?
Sweet.
All right. The first dimension is just a line, right? Everything can be just measured in a line. That's it. In just one line. It won't go up and sideways. It's just one line. Horizontal. We'll just at the moment we'll
okay.
just go horizontal lines. The second dimension is pretty much drawings on piece of paper, like
Paper 2D.
2D. So
like
like
more like
rectangles, circles.
Watching us on YouTube.
Yeah, watching. Yeah, like this is 2D at the moment. Our brains can do a lot better and make it look like it's a little bit 3D.
And so
but-
it's like an audio wave. It's 2D, right? Because you can just draw it like that.
yeah.
Is it?
No, audio wave is 3D because it spreads out. It spreads out like that and like that as well.
Oh,
But
sorry.
we can draw
Yeah.
it out in a 2D.
We
2D
can draw it out. Sorry.
So
my bad.
2D is drawn out, and
Drawn,
then
yeah.
3D is a cube. It's us human beings. We're 3D and stuff.
Yeah.
4D, I don't know how to explain it. It's really
Easy as, bro.
how?
40 is time.
No. That's not 4D.
Yeah.
No. That's time and space, right? 4 dimension is like
No, yeah, it is, because a cube exists. It doesn't move. It exists in space, correct? And then it's not it doesn't change by time, right? It stays there. We exist in the third and fourth dimension, right? The third dimension we can manipulate. We can move my water bottle from here to here, right? That's moving from space to space, right?
Yeah.
But that takes time to do. Right? Yeah. We like if there was only 3D, things would just pop or like just change or whatever, right? There's an aspect of like movement this way, which is that 4D.
No,
but we can't manipulate 4D though.
I'm not talking about 4D as in time though. I'm talking about 4D objects.
No, objects is a 3D concept.
No, there's 4D objects.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, I know that.
But what is an object then? Because a line is an object.
Yeah, a line is So
No,
in these dimensions,
an object like the definition of the object like includes the aspect of being 3-dimensional.
Yeah, I know, but
because a line doesn't exist in the real world.
Yeah, so. I get what you mean. So. That's why I'm like weirded out by 4D because it makes sense, to be honest.
What does make sense?
Four dimension.
Yeah, that's time. And
not time, not time. Okay. Objects. Okay, 4-dimensional objects.
Please explain that.
Us humans, us 3D objects, right?
Yeah.
We can make a 2D shadow.
Yes.
Right. Imagine a 3D shadow though. What type of object would have to cast that?
A shadow implies the definition of a shadow though. Like you're trying to define a shadow in terms of something that can't be defined as a shadow is 2D in nature.
In nature, yeah. 2D in nature and what we can observe.
So when you say a 3D shadow, it's like saying a triangle with 4 sides. It doesn't work. You can't change that. Anish. You can't say that.
That's
what 3D and 4D does.
That's how observable nature, right? But a 4D object, I'll bring it up. Like this is what
good conversation.
This is what fourth dimension.
Because how I define fourth dimension is time. That's what
fourth dimensional cube.
A tesseract.
So a fourth dimensional cube actually looks like that, right? But then it can mold and it's weird. A fourth dimension cube is a tesseract. Look it up online. It's a cube inside another cube. But then the cube can rotate where the inside cube can go outside of the cube and the outside cube can go inside. It's something that it does not work in our plane because it's just nothing we've actually come across there. But yeah.
So is it just an idea then?
Yeah, like pretty much yeah.
So,
I don't really know.
Do you think do you think that 4D actually exists then?
A little bit, yeah.
So then
But that's only because of some of the proof that they've come up with where I can't explain it at all. It's just
the only thing is we can't express 4D
at all.
No. We can't express 4D on a 2D plane.
On a 2D plane, yeah.
Yeah, which is what if someone tries to draw it out, you can't skip 2 dimensions.
But with virtual reality, you could probably draw out a 4th dimension.
Correct. So have you seen those there's this virtual reality art thingy-majig, I'm not sure what it is, but they give you a room.
Yeah.
And you can just draw things.
Yeah.
But if you say draw from here to here, it will draw that line
in a 3D, yeah.
And it will stay there.
Yeah.
So you can continue drawing a 3D model of whatever you want to do with a pen. So you can draw a 3D shape, or you can draw a 3D object or whatever, right? But what I'm saying is that takes time to draw, yeah, right?
Right.
So that movement through that from point 1 to point 2, that line, right?
Yeah.
Is that time that it takes to create that 4D thing, that 3D thing, sorry.
Yeah, no, well, movement is time.
Okay, so okay.
Wait, so are you saying movement is of 4th dimension? Are you saying this is 4th dimension? This is 3D here.
Okay, well, yeah. So we are also moving through 3D and 4D, right? So we have 3D.
How are we moving through 4D?
Through time. Time is elapsing as we continue. Yeah. So we are within 4D. So let me try to explain it this way, right? There's a point here and a point here. Sweet?
Yeah.
They both exist in their own dimensions.
Yeah.
To connect those 2 points, point 1 and point 2, you have to draw a line.
Right. So
and
that's
that line is what?
First dimension.
2D. Yeah, first dimension. Sorry, yeah. Now, say that line, we want to move that line.
Yeah.
We can move it across.
Yeah.
Yeah? And then when from time 1 to time 2, we see this shape of a 2D. That was 2D, right?
Yeah.
Say we want to move now.
Yeah.
That shape, the points, we can move it up, right?
Yeah.
Becomes a cube. Yeah?
Yeah.
Say you want to move that cube from here to here.
It becomes 4D. No.
Wait.
Yeah.
Say you want to move the cube from here to here. We can move it from point 1.
Yeah.
So we can collapse that cube to a point now.
Yeah.
Because the point will represent thing. If we want to move that point from point here to point here,
Yeah.
we have to draw a line between the two, right? That line there
Yeah.
is the fourth dimension. Do you agree with that?
No.
Okay.
What
Nearly got you.
No. What you've been saying is though,
Yeah.
a point to a point, right? That's a line, right? That means this point is moving to here, right? Well, like it's a line, so it's a drawn out line,
Yeah.
right? So that means that point has been stretched in 1D, right? This is what you've been telling me.
Okay, fine,
It's
fine.
been stretched, right? And a line moving into here, you're stretching that line into a square, into its 2D plane. What you're doing now is you're stretching the square into a 3D, right? Into a 3D object. So what happens when you stretch a 3D object? That's what you've been telling me.
Ah.
That's what a fourth dimensional cube is.
So all I'm saying is like, the only representation of a 4D thing is that time. So we can manipulate a 3D object to move from here to here, right? Or here to here. And that's what the fourth dimension looks like to us.
Yeah, to us, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Like we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's to us,
Yeah.
right? But the fourth dimension would be this bottle stretched to here.
Yeah, and that's what we can't
We can't see.
manipulate that.
No, we can't.
So
can't see
we
that.
are, in a way, we are stuck in the fourth dimension.
No, we're stuck in
that
the
we
third.
can't manipulate. No, we can manipulate the fourth dimension though.
No, we can't. We can't go back
So
in
sorry,
time.
we can manipulate the third dimension,
Yeah.
but we're stuck in the fourth dimension.
No,
we
we-
can't manipulate time.
No, we're stuck in the third dimension. We can't manipulate the fourth dimension.
But we're living in the fourth dimension.
We're living in the third dimension.
We can manipulate 3D objects though.
Yeah.
So we're not living in it.
No, we can't. We can't manipulate 3D objects though. That's not manipulating a 3D object though. You didn't
What
change.
do you mean by manipulate?
It's like structure or anything.
Humans can do that.
Because
Obviously.
we can manipulate a 2D object.
We can manipulate 2D and 3D objects as well. Like
We can only move its place.
I could boil the water up and then it will evaporate. That's manipulation of a sort, yeah?
Yeah.
So is that what you mean by change the structure?
I guess so, yeah.
So we can do that.
But how are we living in the fourth dimension? Because we can't observe the fourth dimension.
I'm not saying we can observe it. We're just living in it. We have no control of the fourth dimension.
But-
We're stuck inside it in a way. We're stuck inside
But
it.
a third dimensional object can observe another third dimensional object. A 2D object can observe a 2D object, but a 2D object can't observe a 3D object.
I'm not talking about observe. Like we can't observe time. We are stuck inside it.
But
We're stuck inside the fourth dimension.
but a 2D object
That's a
is-
reality. Space-time is connected, obviously. All the dimensions are connected in some way, shape, or form. Like the one above or the one below.
Yeah.
Actually, like the level monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway. Anyway, yeah. But what I'm saying is like 2D and 3D have a relationship. 3D and 4D have a relationship. 1D and 2D have a relationship. But 2D and 4D, you can't link that separately without the 3D, without linking the 2D to 3D and 3D to the 4D.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say,
That,
right?
that's fine, yeah.
So we are somewhere in between the third and fourth dimension, because 3D objects we can manipulate, right?
Yeah.
But the fourth dimension we can't manipulate, but we are stuck inside of it, right? So fourth dimension is like if 3D was a point 1 and point 2, moving between those two, any movement between those two is one way. We can't go back or forth or whatever on it. But that's not maybe it's not a full representation of what the fourth dimension is.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that we have in reality or whatever to like do it.
But,
we can measure it. Like
so we
we
can
can't manipulate it.
So we're living in the fourth dimension, right?
Yeah.
So that's saying a 2D object is living in a third dimension.
A 2D object. Object again is 3D, Anish.
No, okay.
Whatever 2D
Whatever.
things don't exist in our 3D world.
Okay, but okay, let's say a 2D whatever. I'm calling it an object because
I don't know what it is though. So I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but okay, as a 3D object, we're living in a 4D world, right?
3D and 4D, somewhere in between.
Yeah, somewhere in between,
Space-time.
right? So something in a 2D world would be living in a 3D world, between 2D and 3D.
Possibly, but I don't know what a 2D world is. You know,
It's a drawing.
so,
It's a shadow.
So, but
That's what a 2D is.
a 2D is like a piece of thing that we draw, and then that's it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that exists on paper.
exists on paper. Yeah, but it can move this way, up and down, right?
Can't move above.
It can't move above,
Yeah.
right? So that means it's just stuck on a 2D plane.
Stuck on a 2D plane, but from their point of view,
They're stuck on a 2D plane. They don't see. They don't
we'll
see
care for
up.
the mic.
Oh, sorry. They don't see up. They can't see up.
they could see up. Yeah.
No, they can only see that way, that way, that way. Sorry, that is up. They can't see depth.
There's no up.
They can't see
They
depth.
can't see depth. Okay, fine.
2D objects can't see depth.
2D objects, Anish, like you can't.
No, but they can't,
That's
though.
not. But object is not like the definition of object. Like demands the 3D nature.
Okay.
So saying
I'm,
a 2D object
I'm saying.
is like saying a square with 3 sides or a triangle with 4 sides.
I'm saying as in.
Can't relate.
I'm saying. This is my name for a 2D thing.
Okay.
Is a 2D object, right? And a 3D object is a 3D object, and a 4D object is a 4D
Fine.
object.
If you want to define it like that.
Yeah. That's what I've
Cool.
been saying this, right? A 2D object has no depth, right? And can't see through depth. They can't observe depth either, right? Whereas us, a 3D object, right, can observe time. We can observe time. We can't manipulate time. That's
Depending what you
you've
mean
said.
by observe. You said that, not me. I didn't say that we
Yeah, we can observe time.
we can measure time.
Yeah.
We can't observe. No, we can't observe it. Observe means to see in reality. Where have you seen 9 o'clock? Like you can't see that. You know,
It's a measurement of time.
Yeah, but that's all we can do. We can measure it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
It's like happiness. We can measure it, but does happiness actually exist?
yes.
Where? Hand me 3 happiness.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking about it as a material.
That's what existence means, though. Material. Does it manifest itself in the material world? That's what existence means.
Right. So
So we
then-
can't observe time in that sense.
But we do. So that means that the time doesn't exist. What?
Correct. Time doesn't exist.
Time does exist though.
Does it manifest itself in the material world?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
But that's how
So
we
like
can.
time, gravity, hope, happiness, all these things don't exist. Morals don't exist. Right? But it's a scientific definition. What should be the real definition? Existence should mean the manifestation in the actual physical reality that we live in.
So are you saying thoughts don't exist?
I think thoughts can exist. Maybe.
Hand me 5 thoughts.
Wait, I think humanity, when it progresses, can be one day able to do that. Like, it can measure, right, what a thought will mean. Have you seen the study on, like, how they can, an AI can like, record dreams? Or, like, not record dreams, but, like, project dreams? Or project an image from a thought? So, they asked to do
I've seen
so
that.
to like
and
look at a
it's-
picture or think about a picture.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the AI did that. So
And
I think
it's
that
blurred out.
technology, it blurred out and stuff. It's
Yeah.
really bad.
It's terrible. It's
grainy and
beginning.
stuff. But it's like like you can see some contours and shit, you know? You can see some colours and
Yeah,
stuff.
but that's light. That's just light. Hand me 5 light.
I can hand you 5 like photons, I measure it out and like I could be like, here's 5 photons. You know, and those exist in the real world.
Those actually do exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So
But then that means the photon manipulates itself to turn itself into an image.
The photon.
All the photons.
Photons don't turn into images. The photon is just like an image is like what our eye sees as like 2D, you know? So like if I'm looking at you, like my eye just sees like a picture, right? Sees a 2D thing.
Yeah.
But because my brain also knows that we live in this like 3D world, it makes it will how do I say it? Like I will act in a way which I know it's 3D because of all the evidence in my life that I know it's 3D, you know? Like you have depth, like you aren't just a picture, you know? So our eyes see just it works like a camera.
Yeah, no, cameras are based on eyes. But okay, so you can hand me 5 photons, but you can't hand me 5 images?
I can hand you 5 images, 2D thingies, right? Yeah, I can hand you images. Depends how you define image.
Well, no, just images in general. So you can hand me 5 images. So that means you can hand me 5... Wait, hold on. I'm just getting mixed up here.
Yeah, same, bro. But it's so good. We're on like the 7th dimension now.
Okay, but okay. How do you not observe time though? Then how do you observe if a fossil was how long?
It depends what you mean by observe as well.
As in measure time.
Those are 2 different things. Observe and measure are 2 different things. Have you not heard about the Schrodinger's cat?
Yeah.
Right? So
it's either alive or dead.
Yeah, so until when you observe it.
When you observe it.
Yeah.
But you can't measure
that. Changes the situation of it.
Okay, and you can't actually measure that.
Exactly.
Right. So okay, time, we can measure time. We can't observe time.
Measure time.
Yeah. Moving from one place to another place, it takes time.
What is your... So you're asking me of the difference between the two. Okay. Observation is, for me, is like, okay, does it manifest itself in the real world? And measurement is like, can we create a scale to see the differences within this idea?
Okay, so gravity is a measurement.
Gravity can be measured.
Yeah, gravity can be measured.
But
time
gravity
can
doesn't
be measured.
exist, but gravity can't be observed.
Right, so but time can be measured.
Time can be measured, but can't be observed.
Right.
Happiness can be measured, right? On a happiness scale.
Yeah.
Can't be observed.
You can observe someone being happy. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, manifest. Yeah, okay. Right. But a 2D object, remember what I said what a 2D object is.
But remember, everything that I've discussed so far is on the physical plane.
On
2D, when you talk about 2D, it instantly means that we aren't talking about reality anymore. You understand that, right?
But we still are.
The reality that we live in.
Oh,
where gravity exists.
So you're saying in every dimension it's got different rules apply.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Because what I was doing was pretty much what normal science would do is...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like as in normal science...
Try and fit the model there.
Well, not really try and fit the model, but test that model in that...
Right. Yeah.
In that world.
Here's 2D, let me try and fit it into the 3D model. I don't think that applies.
Yeah, okay, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. I still don't think 4D is time though.
That's cool, bro. Yeah. I mean, I still enjoy the conversation and the ability to actually talk about it is just like, is so good. And someone who actually, like, to be honest, like, because honestly, no one cares, you know? Like, no one really cares, right? But the fact that we can sit down, have some water, and just talk about these things makes me real happy. Even though we can't observe happiness, you can see a smile though, right?
And with that, we're just going to end it. Because apparently you can't observe shit. And see you next time.
Observe you later.
Alright, bye.
Bye.